At the beginning of this 5-part series, I want to talk about revival of the fittest. Different things we ought to revive in our personal lives. The first thing I want to talk about is purity. I want to talk about that prodigal son that went out and spent all his inheritance that his dad owed him. And after he spent it all, he came to himself. Luke 15 and verse 17 says, and when he came to himself, you got to remember that. He said, how many hired servants of my father's have bread enough to spare, and I perish with hunger? He said, how many servants of my father's house are being well taken care of? And as I'm feeding these swine, I'm wanting the food that they have. When you come to yourself, revive that purity, revive that testimony. I know a lot of people, they feel like they have to go out and get a testimony. I have to go out and start doing drugs, and that way I come back in the church and saying, God, revive me of drugs. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't have to work that way. You see, when the prodigal son, the younger son, came back into the house, and after it was all said and done, he was considered one of the sons. God, his father, graciously took him back. And if you have gone out and done different things and done things to mess up your testimony, you can come back and have that testimony. But for those who haven't gone out and messed up their testimony, I want to challenge you, you stay put in the Father's house. Look who had the inheritance after it was all said and done. After the father passed away, guess who had the inheritance? The older son. When the older son stayed put and didn't go out and waste it on riotous living, he kept his testimony. Amen? He kept that testimony to be a part of him. So now he didn't have to say, I went out and done this. Now I have to come back and God saved me from this and God saved me from this. If your testimony today is, I've never been involved in that, never been involved in the things of this world, that God kept, that you stayed in the house, what a testimony. What a testimony that this son had.